Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another Monday coffee conversation. Got mine this morning. Sometimes a regular coffee cup will do. Sometimes it takes the mega cup, and this is one of those days. But hope you got yours. Now, let's get into the word. If you saw the little clips at the beginning, those are motion lights that I have outside here in my backyard. I've got some on the side of the house, some out at the hen house, some beside the garden, and whenever I get near them in the middle of the night, they come on, and I've got them spaced about to where if I have to go out there for any reason after dark, by the time I get out of being out of the light of one of them, another one will kick on. So that way, pretty much my whole path is lit up without having to fall over something or step on something I don't want to in the middle of the night. Now, those lights, like I said, are motion lights, and whenever you get within range of them, they come on. They have these little photoreceptors, and they pick up motion, and the light automatically comes on. Now, this right here is one of the best flashlights that I've ever had, and it's simple, it's basic, but you talk about putting out light, and it'll put out some light. It is super strong and very bright. Now, the difference between this and the motion light is, of course, this one isn't automatic. I can sit here and hold this one all day long and nothing comes out. But once I mash that button, it lights up everything in front of me. Now, why in the world am I using this and motion lights? Well, in John chapter 1, verse 5, it says that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot comprehend it. Now, that's talking about the light of God, Jesus, lighting up things in the world, lighting up the darkness. And it says the darkness cannot comprehend it, which means it cannot overcome it. See, darkness isn't even really a thing. You can't go buy a flash dark, or you don't have motion darks. You can't create darkness. Darkness is just simply an absence of light. So it says that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. That means that when the light comes in, darkness disappears by simple definition. It is an absence of light. So when the light is there, there is no more darkness. Wherever the light is, the darkness disappears. Now, that's a pretty easy concept to understand. If God is there, Satan can't be there. If the motion light comes on outside, then light's there, and the darkness can't overcome it. It can't take it over. But the thing I want to talk about is sometimes we have to take control over the light. Now, what am I saying by that? Are we trying to take control of God? No, of course not. But sometimes in some situations in our lives, God just shows up out of nowhere. Like those motion lights, whenever we come into the vicinity of where they are, the light comes on and it just shines and it lights up where we're stepping and everything. And sometimes in our life we come into situations to where we don't even know where he comes from and how it happens, but God just shows up. God just shows up without us even looking and lights the way and changes things completely. If you remember Saul on the road to Tarsus, he wasn't looking for Jesus. But Jesus showed up how? As a bright light. And though Saul didn't see it at that moment, that was a wonderful thing that happened because it completely changed his life, changed the lives of people in their time, and changed the lives of us today because Saul became Paul and wrote most of the New Testament that we have to read. Now that is the light that just comes suddenly when God just shows up. And we praise God and we thank God for moments like that. But sometimes it's not motion lights that automatically come on that we have to use. Sometimes we've got the light in our hands the whole time. You just can't see it. Sometimes there's a situation that we're walking in and we have the ability to point the light directly on it, but we're just sitting there doing nothing. In those moments, we have to turn the light on. We have to bring God into the situation. And I'm not saying that God can't move in it, but sometimes we have to ask God. Sometimes there's things, God knows what we need, God knows what we want because He knows all. But He wants us to ask in prayer. And when we go to God in prayer, we're hitting that button. We're hitting that button right there that's bringing all that light into the situation. When we go to God in prayer, we're telling Him something He already knows, yes. But we're bringing that light into whatever darkness we're facing. And the darkness cannot overcome that light. So we have to know what we got to use. We have to know how we're going to do it. It's best to always be prepared to hit that button, to go to God in prayer, to go to God before we come into situations, to go to God while we're in the middle of a situation, and to go to God when we come out of it and give Him praise. Now, there are times when that motion light, all we got to do is get in the vicinity, and it shines, and we can just feel it, and it's just, that's when the Spirit takes over, and it's a wonderful thing. But we've always got the light of Jesus in us. Sometimes we got to be the ones that turn it on. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope it was a blessing. We hope somehow that it helps you throughout your day or a day coming up in your life. We'll see you next time on MC Squared, the Monday Coffee Conversation. Have a wonderful and blessed day.